Today in this TechPod, we are going to talk about MQTT and how it's implemented along with the Ewons. As we are well aware that Ewons can be used with its VPN providers and cloud, that's Talk2M, or we can also use Ewons with the MQTT protocol, which is a direct connection to the cloud, which can be AWS, Azure, or Mindsphere, or even ThinkWorks Cloud. So let's get ahead and take a deeper look at MQTT. Today in this TechPod, we are going to talk about MQTT and how it's implemented along with the Ewons. As we are well aware that Ewons can be used with its VPN providers and cloud, that's Talk2M, or we can also use Ewons with the MQTT protocol, which is a direct connection to the cloud, which can be AWS, Azure, or Mindsphere, or even ThinkWorks Cloud. So let's get ahead and take a deeper look at MQTT. So going ahead with the MQTT and how exactly it sends data is the function MQTT and event on MQTT and on MQTT status allows you to create your own MQTT client connector. As you can see in the diagram here, it says you can see an Ewon on the left-hand side with any particular device, which sends data into the Ewon, and then that Ewon further uses MQTT protocol to publish that data to the broker, and this broker eventually has all the data in the queue in the form of topics, which can be subscribed by the other MQTT clients, which can be a subscriber. This MQTT framework supports publishing of any kind of message in JSON, CSV format, XML format, or even text format. So it supports transport layer security, TLS connections, and authentication is done via username and password, or certificate, last will, and testament are there, and then receiving messages from other clients, which is known as the subscribe or the publish. So let's go ahead and look how it works in practice. Let's open our machine. So this is our Ewon interface. And this is our Ewon homepage, having all the details about the Ewon Flexy. So we directly go and take a look at the tags that we have in our Ewon. So these are all the tags that are there. And one of the tags is str here, and we can view it here. So how we use MQTT is by using scripting in the Ewon, which is done through the basic IDE, that is the integrated development environment. So we can see that we already have the code here, which is openly available on HMS website for implementing MQTT and connecting Ewon directly to the cloud and send data via MQTT protocol, which is dependent on event-based code and on-change code, and it's timed based upon whatever configuration we have done in the code itself. So coming down here, so we have all this data here. What we simply do here using this code is that we take our device ID name and the IoT hub name, which comes from our Azure environment, and we use that into the MQTT code. So when we run this code, it will simply start to send data to our Azure environment, and Azure will get all the data in its cloud and IoT hub and in the specific device that we have selected here. So let's click on execute, and it starts running. We can see here at the bottom, it says publish, no tag changes detected, do not publish. Or here it says one tag change have been detected. So if we go here to values, and push one update, like let's say string is here. We select this here and change the value to 5 and hit enter and apply, and I will change the value and push this update to your Azure. So what we have configured this particular code is to connect it to Azure environment, which I can show you here. So this is our Azure environment. If we zoom out a little bit, you can see it has various resources here. And the one that we are concerned about is IoT demo. Let's click on that. And then we have set the IoT hub. And inside the IoT hub, we have the IoT device, which is what we had named back in the code. If you can remember, it was Flexy 205 MQTT demo. That's our device name. And IoT demo 009 is our IT hub name. So both of these you could see in the code that we had used and implemented this in order to integrate it with the Azure cloud. Let's go to overview and then take a closer look at the code. So 12, 6, and 1 hour. And we can see we have got these messages coming from that code or from our Ewon device to the Azure. You could see number of messages used since 2:15 p.m. I can see it's going up and up and up. And then we also say it here, device to cloud messages. Again, it has all the data here. It has received some message, so that's why it's going up. And we have also the connected devices. So that's our data coming from the Ewon to our Azure cloud on our IoT hub to the IoT device that we have set up. So we are also connecting our Ewon to the Azure IoT hub in a secure way. So that would require us to have the certificates for a secure connection and the keys required for the same. So what we have here is simply the Ewon FileZilla file sharing system, and the FileZilla actually is a file browser that we can use to navigate into Ewon user folder. And once we are inside that, we can copy and paste our certificate files, which we can see here. That's Flexy 205 MQTT demo, the same as the name of our IoT device. And then Flexy 205 MQTT demo.key. Then we have Baltimore Cybertrust root.pem. All these files are openly available on HMS forum website, which we will link later on and share along with the video. All these three files make a secure connection to the Azure cloud environment, to the Azure IoT hub and the devices. Going back to our Ewon device, as we can see, the code is running fine without any issues. And yeah, you can see one tag selected and published. So yeah, it's publishing successfully, and any changes are detected in the Ewon IoT hub.